What do they want from you? What do they want from you? That's a question I had to ask myself. But what do you want? What do you want, Kiné? That's another question I had to ask myself. And then the third question is, where do those overlap or intersect? Because that's the sweet spot. I am Kiné Corder, the leading national certified counselor specializing in financial hypnotherapy for stress. And I am building the world's largest global barber network offering mental health and money systems. And this has been just a few months, but very eye opening for me. Like as a person, I've gained some insight into myself, but I've also gained some insight into people, the industry. When I say the industry, I'm really talking about the grooming industry, but there is some overlap there with the wellness industry. What I've learned most, I've been posting on probably more like Instagram and my shorts here, is that barbers see this therapeutic part of the service as this is part of the job. It's just part of the job. I'm just doing my job. Sometimes it feels like, as I'm talking to them, they see it like an amenity. It's just like a warm towel or the snacks or water that they have at their shop, but it's so much more than that. And it's because those snacks cost you $1, that water costs you $1. The weight of those heavy conversations cost you a lot more. So I've been counting the cost, like actually calculating what is the cost to a barber because they need to transfer that cost and maybe even profit from it, but they definitely at least need to transfer the cost because them sweeping up the floor at the end of the night and getting that hair and sanitizing and all of that, some of that is counted in the cost of a haircut. So why isn't the therapeutic part counted? Because they are not confident, because they are maybe mm, the word I'm thinking of is ashamed, but it might be too strong. Anyway, I have some notes about a couple things that I want to catch you up on that I've been working on, but that in my research has been what I have heard. And I wanted to like kind of draw a line in the sand that I'm hearing this and I'm working on what to do about it, how to give barbers that confidence that what you're giving away for free is valuable and should have a price tag associated with it. I'm already knowing this. This is why I came back to the business. But how do I teach this to barbers? So, what do they want from you, Kiné? What do they want from me? They don't even know. They don't know that they want permission to ask for money for that part of the service, that they want support in asking for money for that part of the service, that they want I'm going to use the word an excuse, but it's a better word. Like they need a reason to ask. They need evidence. They need evidence that they can pass on to the client. And one of the ways that I have started to in the Prosperous Barber Journal to frame it for barbers is that hey, you are retiring and your um haircut is just not enough to start saving for a retirement. So there is an added service. You don't have to get this service. You can get the regular cut, but there is a higher version of that. And because I'm creating this higher version during this regular cut, this is probably going to happen faster than it's been happening in the past. It is, I am going to protect my energy. Yeah. So those I'm not going to go too far into it because I say more in the Prosperous Barber Journal and I say a lot more in the community that I am building outside of the Prosperous Barber Journal or around the Prosperous Barber Journal. Let's say that. Anyway, let me get to my notes. So here are a couple things that are coming down the line. I told you guys under my jacket before was a tank I have on the tee today. So I'll be sure to show you that in just a second. So I'm going to come back to spread shirt. I'm going to come back to the shirt. Revenue, revenue. That is my focus right now. That is what I am focusing on, what I'm teaching my barbers. Increase your revenue. So you need to have one revenue stream that is just always flowing. That's your flagship, that's your base. For barbers, that's going to be the haircut. For me, that's basically the consultation. My consultation, which is called a vision session, is my base. That happens virtually, not in person. It can happen in person if you happen to be in the place that I'm in, but that vision session is a 1 hour conversation with me where we start to dig into your vision and figure out how we're going to get you the revenue, the retention, and the referrals that you need. So those are the 3 R's that I'm focusing on. And when we have our conversation, we need to be visualizing at least one more income stream for you. Now, you might be able to do this for yourself, but I can also help you visualize this. So that is first the revenue. But once you have that foundational, you're going to have to build on that. So at one point, I had like 7 income streams, and I would love to get back to that. 2 other income streams. So the t-shirt business, let's call it that, or income stream, let's call it the t-shirt income stream, right? And the affiliate income stream. So affiliate income stream would be like Theragun is one of the things that I use in my retreats. So if someone wants to buy that, they can purchase it from me or using my link, and then I get a commission for that. Also affiliate links, like you hear me talk about American Express, Capital One, Wise, all of these financial institutions have affiliate programs. So I'll be signing up for those affiliate programs. Um, it's like you're putting in the work, like you have your day job, so to speak, but then I call it all day money, and you might have read that Prosperous Barber Journal. I think it was like issue 4. It was really early. So all day money, where whether you are cutting with the client, you can still be making money in other places. Whether you are asleep, whether you're having fun, whether you're in nice partying with your friends, um, and building your reputation and creating that recreation in your life, you are still bringing in revenue. Um, but I think like sometimes I think you have put in the work, but because I'm starting over a little bit, I have a little bit more work to put in. But I think as the barbers that I work with are experienced, they've already built a business, they have a full clientele, and they're just trying to figure out what's next. So I have been figuring out what's next. Like, do I go into the shop? Do I not go into the shop? In the last video, I kind of talked about it in short. I think the decision is that I'm going to spend 1 or 2 days in the shop, and most likely I will be serving barbers if I go into the shop. But I know it can really pull you in and drown you, and you get so obligated that you end up, well, they need me, they need me, they need me, and then you forget why you're even there. And so 2 days would be tops, whatever I can do in 2 days. But because I still have to do my one-on-one consultation and then my asynchronistic. So the one-on-one consultation is the foundation, but the asynchronistic comes right above that. And asynchronistic just means you do the one-on-one consultation with me, and then you're like, okay, yes, I do want to work with you in the sense that I need you to guide me, but we don't need to schedule appointments. You just need to fill out forms that I give you. You need to answer questions, and then I will give you step by step guidance. I will also give you financial hypnotherapy sessions that will help you get to a point where you can ask for money for these things, where you do feel the prestige in your job, because these hypnotherapy sessions are going to help clear the old program, and it'll help you expand to the new program. And that new program being that vision that you have for yourself. You can get to that vision by yourself. You don't need me. But what you may need me for is to speed up the process, to help so you don't have to go to so much trial and error, bumps and bruises, to hear you, to be for you what you are for everyone else. So that's kind of what the asynchronous that's just a piece of what the asynchronistic is. You'll hear more if you do a consultation with me. You'll know more, but that's at least some of what the asynchronous and it's month to month. It's not a subscription. You pay, you take it for a month. If it's working, you pay for another month. And I decided to do that because I personally am kind of over subscriptions. I'm just like, another subscription. Oh my God. I'm so tired of subscriptions. So to I did not want to make it like overly um subscribe, like committal. Like you don't need to commit. You're committing 30 days at a time. If you want to commit more, I I have as much as a 4-month package where I see the biggest impact is around 6 months. But I tell people do 30 days first. See how that works for you. If you like it, then get the 4-month package because that 30 days and the 4 months, you'll probably end up getting like that one more month at the end, just like to solidify it and make sure you have it all and you're feeling good. And then you probably won't need me as much, but you can do that like a one-off session or whatever with me, just if you need a boost. So I talked about a couple of things in that little, that's kind of like the revenue, but that's also the business model and how I'm working it. And that's also what I'm going to show barbers is how to have your haircut as your main bread and butter, but then to have these other affiliate um, programs and these, and maybe a product of your own like I will right now. It'll be the t-shirts and the tanks. That's one product. But eventually I'll have I use certain adaptogens that I use as a blend of adaptogens. And then there's also skincare things that I use. So I'll probably end up and that I make a lot of. So I'll share those eventually. Um, I make these videos because they're for you, but they're also for me. Sometimes I go back and watch them because I have to remind myself what I am building. Like I said, you go into the shop and then you think, oh, you're just cutting hair again. Oh, you just because I also do locks. Oh, you're just doing locks again. No, is that's cool, but it's way bigger than that. It's like the self-sync studio where I would do hair specifically for barbers mostly. I don't know that I would take private clients yet. That's still up for debate. But the Self Sync Studio is where you spend a short amount of time with me. Just an hour or two, 30 minutes if it's a haircut. But usually my haircuts include the clarity because you have the vision session with me, but you can do the clarity session with me where we are together. You are in my chair and I'm helping you get clarity. So that happens in the SelfSync studio, but the SelfSync suites is where I'm really going. That is why I got started on this journey is because Barbers being the feed to the SelfSync suites. So they send their clients to do these therapeutic retreats, either 2-day or 5-day. And this is where I shine. This is what fills me up. This is what fuels me. And yes, I have this goal. Back to the goals because I ended the last conversation talking about goals, but um, I have a goal to see barbers get to $1 million of investable assets, like to have $1 million retirement. And it is not the easiest thing to do, especially when you're starting and you feel like you're behind, like you're at 50, you got 10 years to do this. That is $100,000. Like, of course, you're not going to see that as possible right away. But all of that doesn't have to be you. And some of that has to be the market, right? You're depending on that you're going to get an average of 8 to 10% each year. So some of it, yeah, you're putting in, and some of it is not coming from cutting hair. Because if you're looking at it, you're like, I make $100,000 a year. How am I going to save $100,000 a year? So that other 100,000 has to come from other income streams to go into that account. And maybe it doesn't necessarily have to be 100, it could be 20. Whatever it is, you need to be saving for retirement. Where is that coming from? So that's what I'm dedicated to talking to barbers about. And so far the conversation has been going well. Okay, so here's where we're going. If you listened all the way through, woo, kudos to you to getting this far because I really am getting to the point right now. So I'm doing a 16-week, is probably already started by the time you hear this video, but a 16-week retirement series. And it's going to break down all the things you need to be thinking about, from revenue to insurance to your asset allocation, which I've been sharing my own asset allocation, um, to, looking for an advisor for yourself, and just all the things you need to be thinking about. So 16 weeks, I'm going to put that in play. I'm going to talk about it from August to like November, and then I'm going to let it lie, see what questions you have, and then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna do that again. I'll make the adjustments and it'll be like, 2.0 version. And then I'll do that again, 16 weeks, but talking about retirement. You see what questions you still have, because it's not like a one and done. I say it and then you go off and do it. No, we're gonna have to repeat, and make sure you get it, and that I'm delivering it in a way that you can digest it. So remember, not last video, but video before that, I said it was a project on the table. I was so thrilled about it, really delighted about it. I didn't get it. So I'm smiling, but I was disappointed. I really wanted to be a part of this collaboration, but there's another project on the table. Actually, there's two. So when one window closes, two doors open. So two doors opened, and one is extremely lucrative. It would like give me the foundation I would need to like really focus and stay in what I want, not what I have to do. So right now there's some things that I have to do in order to run this business. But if that project comes through, then I won't have to do any of the have tos. I can just do the want tos and get to the SelfSync Suites even faster. But so that project, if both of them come through, that would be a lot. I probably would have to choose one or the other, but I might try, because one is only 3 months long. The other one is actually a 2-year project. But after the first 6 months, it would be in the flow and it won't take me as many hours. So, yeah, those two projects would be pretty ideal for me. Um, but we'll see. I'll keep you posted. One is almost a done deal. The other one, I probably won't know for a little while. And then there's also a class that or like a cohort. What do you call those things? Incubator? Yeah. So it's like an incubator I applied for. I won't know that until probably September. But that will help me get off the ground faster too, because out in that incubator, you have like mentors, and these are tech mentors, and there is a tech part of what I am doing that I need, that I'm not, that I'm therapeutic. I am a brilliant therapist. I am a good teacher. I am blank technology. I don't want to speak ill of myself because I want to put that out in the universe. But let's just say I think that's somebody else's job. And I can tell them what I need and want. I know exactly what I need and want. It'll actually also evolve. But yeah, that's somebody else's job. Let's say that. That's all. We got through it all in 20 minutes. So it's time for the reveal. Okay, so this is I have one that's navy and with the gold letters, and then one that's cream with the navy letters. And can you see it says before there were therapists, there were barbers, and then there's a little barber chair there. So this is the one we're going with for now. There's going to be more, like before there were surgeons, there were surgeons, but barbers were doing surgery. I don't know if you know that. Before there were priests, yeah, there were barbers. People came to their barber. I don't know if you know this stuff, and this is important. So Um, but that's in the Prosperous Barber Journal. That's what I'm doing every single week in the Prosperous Barber Journal, is letting you know how prosperous, how important, how prestigious it is to be a barber. So if the link is not in this video, I promise you it'll be a next video. It is on the top of my list to get this web page together. And it's a third party, like it's print on demand. I'm not doing it. So I have to take their website template and put it into my website, which is not going to be the prettiest thing you ever seen, but it's going to be functional. And sometimes that's what you have to do. That's what you have to do. Just make it functional. And that's where I am right now. And then when I get the technology people on board, then they can fix all the things and make them more pretty, even more functional. That's all for now. I forgot to say I'll see you sooner and love you muchly in the last video, but I'll say it here. I'll see you sooner. I love you muchly.